Hello and welcome members. Microsoft Exchange Online manage mailbox options, and you have already seen the previous Microsoft Exchange Online videos, and we have showed you different policies and different stuff related to the Microsoft Exchange Online. And in this video we are going to specifically focuses on the options that has been left and that are not covered in the previous Exchange related videos. So let's move to the Windows 11 machine and let's access the Exchange Online. Now here we are connected to the admin.exchange.microsoft.com portal with the administrative credentials, and here you can see that we have this mailbox. So let's suppose that you have a user mailbox and you wanted to set up different settings that are sometimes necessary and sometimes optional. So here you can see that once you click to the mailbox, so there's a cloud appears on the right of your screen. And if you didn't change the tab from here, and if you go specifically with the general, so you're going to find the first name and all that detail. And if you put all that detail, so you will definitely find these details here. Same way the user ID, and here you have few settings. But most of the settings we have covered, like the manage email app setting, mobile device management of Exchange Online, and this organization tab. Once you switch here, so here you have a chance to provide the title, department, manager, and direct reports. So here all you need to do is to just give the organization detail, and you have to click to the link. And here definitely your manager is belong to your domain, and this manager have the Exchange Online email ID. So you can type the email ID here and it will suggest you to select your manager here. So in this way you can later on fetch the reports and fetch the data in terms of titles and department. So that's another story. In the same way you have this delegation tab. So if you switch to this delegation tab, so you will see these options which we have already covered in the previous video of Exchange Online. Then you have this mailbox tab, and here you can see few options that haven't been covered yet in the video series. Now here you can see the message size restriction. So the value for the maximum send size is set to 3500 KB and receive to 36700 something KB. So you can adjust this message size restriction, which is set to this number, and you can increase or decrease depend upon your requirement and compliance. And it says set the maximum sizes for send and receive message that is between 0 to like 1500 and 36. Oops, it's 153k something KB that you can adjust between. This is a range from 0 to 153,000 KB that you can adjust here, and that gives you more control over the message sent and the receive. And if you define the message size, so your user will be restricted to follow that size, like that if the user are attaching too much documents or videos or the pictures, so you can restrict the size. So what happens eventually that you're going to control that what sort of the stuff that could be attached and that could be sent from the email ID of your domain. So this gives you a lot of flexibility while managing and controlling your user mailboxes. And in the same way, you have another option under this mailbox section, which is this message delivery restriction. And here it says what that's set to default to receive messages from all senders and block message from the no sender. So this is a quickest way where you can add some blockade to specific user, because in the previous video we have explored a lot of options and policies that if these policies match, certain user will be blocked, certain message will not be delivered, or certain message will not be received. But this is a right away thing that in a quick way, in just few clicks, if you wanted to block or if you wanted to accept some messages from some specific user, so you can come to this option, manage mailbox, go to the mailbox of that specific user, And here you can see you have two options: the simple, straightforward, accept messages from, and here it is selected to all sender. You can select the specific one or required sender to be authenticated. So you can add this option as well. And here you need to click to the add sender and select the sender from the list. And in the same way for the blocking, that here you can it is set to none, block messages from none, but here you can add some specific user for specific mailbox that these particular user won't be able to send messages or email to specific mailbox. So this is the way, and these are the options that give you a straightforward approach that it won't take so much time to take the action regarding some some high level query or critical ticket that you want some blocking or you want some acceptance for some specific user. Then if you keep scrolling down, so you have this manage mailbox policies, which we have already explored. Then if you switch to the others tab, so here you will see some bunch of options, some of which are already covered and some are not. And in that one, which is this recipient limit, so if you click to this link, and here you can define the maximum recipient limit. So here it says what they specify the maximum number of allowed recipients on two CC and BC lines of an email message sent from the mailbox. So this is another interesting one, that where you're going to manage the maximum recipient limits, that once you are when you're sending the email, so how and how many how many recipients you're going to allow. So by default it is set to 500, and there are some sort of certain cases and certain situations where you have to manage these things as well. And it is not happen commonly, or it is not happening on the daily basis, but somehow these sort of queries come to your desk. And as a Microsoft system administrator or Microsoft 365 administrator, you have to informed about all these tools, and you should know about these options that where to do what. So this also helps you to have more control over the email environment. Well, there is another one option, which is the Mailbox Archive, and it is an important one, but it involves some licensing stuff, because currently it is disabled. But if you click to toggle on and enable this option, so here it requires some additional storage, and this additional storage is a premium feature that requires the Exchange Online Plan 2 or the Exchange Online Archiving license to enable it for each user mailbox. So you need to purchase a license to enable this option. So there is a lot more stuff that you can see related to managing the user mailboxes, and we have explored too much stuff related to the Exchange Online and the security section of your email domain. But if we missed out some specific feature to explore, so you can type us, you can comment about that specific feature, and definitely we will provide you, we will respond you with the whole video on it.